Okay, the counterintuitive reason why you are not successful, the counterintuitive reason why you are not successful in getting the outcomes you want in your life. That is what we're going to talk about today. But, first, please send me your validation so that I can inhale it into my nostrils and down to the depths of my soul. Send said validation by subscribing to the YouTube channel. Hit the little notification bell. That notification bell is very important so you can get brand new videos the moment they come out. All other platforms, please like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends so that they can benefit from the value that this content provides. Okay. The counterintuitive reason why you don't have the success in your life that you want, it's because you're aiming at it a little bit too much. Viktor Frankl, author of Man's Search for Meaning, talks about the concept that if you aim directly at success, it's going to elude you. But if success in life comes as a byproduct of who you are, it's easier to accomplish. The way that you want to look at living a successful life is coming at it from an indirective perspective. This is an example that I love to use. When you walk into a room and there's a cat sitting there, and you try to run up and pet the cat right away, what does it do? It runs away from you. But if you're cool and you just walk into the room, you do your own thing, you pay no mind to the cat, all of a sudden the cat's like, who is this person that doesn't want to pay attention to me? And they become attracted to you and come sit in your lap without any effort. This is the same way that success works. Should you push yourself to be successful? Obviously. Do you have to have a good work ethic? Do you have to be productive? Do you have skills to be successful? Obviously. But the way you want to do it is focus on those skills first and keep the idea of success to the side. Keep it in the back of your mind. Don't get overly focused on the outcomes right away. And if you focus on the process first, all of a sudden things will start happening in a different way. You will attract success. Instead of chasing it, the things you want will come to you, being a byproduct of who you actually are. So take my whole writing career, for example. There are a lot of people who come into the writing game and they want to be successful bloggers right away. They want to get published on the top publications. They want an audience, deals. They want to become a New York Times bestseller. But the last thing that they want to do is just write. See, they want all of the glory and accolades of being a writer, but they don't want to do the work and be so good of a writer that success is just the natural byproduct, just the natural consequence. But the way that I looked at it, I figured that if I put my head down and practice, good things would eventually happen, and that's exactly what happened. There were a lot of different publications that I would have died to write for in the past, but they wouldn't let me in because I didn't have the talent to get there. So I put my head down and I did the work. Wouldn't you know it, all of the same publications that I would beg and die to write for find my work online and they reach out to me. See, when you start to work on yourself and when you do it in a way you're not doing it in a needy way. Working on yourself specifically because you want to get this exact outcome at this exact time. You're working on yourself because you know that in general, if you do it long enough, good things will happen. And I have to hammer this over and over with students who I help with writing, with people who watch my content. I have people going through a course right now who bought my book, who are working on the steps to building a path or building a new career or building a side project. All of them, almost all of them, are already focused on the outcome. 30 days into working with me and they're focused on how successful they're going to be right away. They're taking advice from someone who has spent a half decade building his career. I've already shot over 100 videos for this YouTube channel just to get it to the point where it's getting a little bit of traction. They see the work I'm putting in, yet in their mind, they still will rationalize their way into thinking that somehow, for no apparent reason, they should be successful right now. And they're so anxious to get the result. And that's the crazy thing about being anxious to get results. The more you take shortcuts, the further away you get from your goals. You know, take people who get into yo-yo dieting. Everybody knows how to have a diet. Everyone knows how to exercise. If you eat whole foods, if you stay in a calorie deficit, if you work out 3 times a week or something like that, you'll get a moderate weight loss, and you'll lose about 1.5 pounds for each week, and you'll do it for a span of like 6 months, and then you'll lose the weight. But what do people want to do? They want to lose belly fat with this one little trick. They want to lose 10 pounds in 10 days. They want to go on all of these crash diets, which not only doesn't get them the long-term success that they want, sure, maybe they lose the weight, but it actually pushes them even further back than they were when they got started. They'll gain the weight back more than what they had before they got on the diet. And this works with the process of becoming successful, of building profitable skills, or doing anything that's going to take delayed gratification. Each time you get sidetracked. And so you have to start all over again. But not only do you have to start all over again, you have that mental weight of you trying and failing and trying to take that shortcut. So it sends a subconscious signal to your mind telling you that you are the type of person who takes shortcuts and fails, thus pushing you further away from your goals. You wouldn't believe how much progress you could make if you just put the idea of success out of your mind and just did the work. We have timelines that I talk about on this channel all the time. 90 days. If you want to become a content creator, don't focus on being the next Casey Neistat. Content for the next 90 days without thinking of the result whatsoever. And then you might get a little bit of that traction you're looking for. Same thing goes with your diet. Hell, don't even look in the mirror for 90 days if you're trying to start a diet. If you're trying to start a business, it's going to take you at least 90 days to do the research and figure out what kind of product you want to offer, service you want to offer. You can't be worried about starting the next billion-dollar company. You don't have any customers. Focus on the process. All of the things I talk about in self-improvement are very basic, very banal, very boring and bland techniques. But that's what gets you success. I created this channel because I was tired of seeing this fluffy, overly hyped motivational speeches from people telling you that somehow you're going to create a 6-figure business in 6 weeks or 6 months, or that if you just take my course and do my 10 steps to success, all of a sudden amazing things are going to happen to you right away. And that's not how it works. And part of the reason why I'm shooting so many videos, taking you to different places around the world, around the country, showing you the process of me getting incrementally better, is to show you that that process is the same regardless of who you are. It doesn't matter what you've done before. I started a writing career, spent 5 years doing that, and now I'm starting all over with YouTube. And if you've been with me from the inception of the channel, you see the progression. You know, I've talked to people in my social circle, friends, other creators, and they're like, wow, I'm really happy that you're doing this YouTube thing, but you know, aren't you worried that you're not getting enough views? Aren't you kind of worried that you're not getting the same views as a writer, as your writing career, and you're kind of split focus between these two things and you're not getting the traction? I understand that if I just focus on doing the work, put video after video after video out, then the numbers will start to grow. The numbers are growing. I started this channel at 0. As of this video shooting, I'm at about 2.75 thousand subscribers. And I didn't worry about how many subscribers I was going to get. I just worried about putting out a new video or a couple of videos each week. You know, I've gotten to 100 videos. This is probably video number 105. And it doesn't even seem like the first video happened. It seems so distant in my mind already. I was focusing on the work. Nothing in your life is going to change until you focus on the work. We just talked about this. I'm with my friend. She's walking around the perimeter taking cool shots that are going to be spliced in, so you'll actually see her in the video. But we were talking back and forth in an interview yesterday, and she was talking about the fact how she bounced back and flailed around between different things, and things didn't start to click for her, and they didn't start to click for me until we just decided that we were going to start our businesses. We just decided that we were going to create our content. And now we're able to have conversations about the years and decades that we've put into our craft, and we can look back and we understand each other and have that wavelength about what it takes to be successful. But it's really hard to get that across to you if you haven't gone through the process already. So what I will tell you is that if you go through the process for a long enough time, you can create the type of results that are unimaginable. You can't even fathom what kind of results you're going to get in the future, because you are not currently that person yet. And you'll look back on the beginning of your path and it'll feel like an entirely different you. And because you were focused on the process instead of the outcomes, because you didn't aim directly at success, but as Viktor Frankl said, made success a byproduct of who you were, then you're going to attract good things into your life. That's what self-improvement is about. Self-improvement isn't about making more money. It isn't about your status. It isn't about the worldly outcomes that you get. It's not even about the audience that you build, any of those outside things. These are just metrics that are the inevitable byproduct of being a productive human being in society. If you're productive, you'll make money. If you're smart and productive, you'll start a good business. If you're smart, productive, creative, and persuasive, you will create the type of content that will build a solid channel. If you become somebody who is worthy of success, then you will have it. One of my favorite quotes comes from Charlie Munger, and he says, to get what you want, you have to deserve what you want. The world is not yet crazy enough to reward a bunch of undeserving people. So take the focus off of the outcomes. Look in the mirror and ask yourself if you're even the person who is capable or who is worthy of getting those outcomes yet. And if you haven't started, if you haven't spent those 90 days, 6 months, 12 months, you're not there yet. But when you start, you realize there is no there to be had in the first place. The more you work and kind of achieve outcomes in your life, you'll realize the outcomes aren't really that important. You will actually come to understand that who you are and how you grow in the process matters more to you than everything else. And you'll build an upward spiral in kind of this self-fulfilling prophecy where you don't focus on success, and then you get success. And then once you reach a certain threshold, you find something else to start all over with, and you don't focus on success, and you get it all over again. So that's a process I want to implore you to follow. And I really sincerely know for a fact that if you do it long enough, you're going to get anything you want in your life. Okay, if you are on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Hit the little notification bell so that you can get brand new videos. Facebook, please use the tools and metrics on that platform to share with your friends, family, colleagues, whomever. I will see you on the next video.
Bye-bye.
Boom! All right, much better. All right, video 1 down. I'll see how many more we can get in before my damn battery runs out. I'm learning many techniques, B-roll. You'll see some cool shots in the videos. Stay tuned.
All right, video 1.
Yeah, let's do it.
That looks cool. All the like architecture and stuff.
Let's do it. 49% battery.
Oh, other stuff for B-roll.